Hello everybody out there and welcome back here with the future once again to another showcase and review of some mint on card Jada Toys Nano Metalfigs. This time it is the Street Fighter wave released in 2017. I'm just getting to them today because it is just in time for the launch of Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection that is available on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Windows PC May 29th, 2018, which is today as I am recording this video. That game will highlight all 12 classic titles plus loads of archival documents, music, and more. And it also includes online-enabled versions of Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and Street Fighter Alpha 3. Of course, these Jada Toys Nano Metalfigs were released in 2017 here of the Street Fighter wave. This is the only line right now or wave that has been announced from Jada Toys, but there could be another wave of these released. Maybe some variations of some of these characters and some of the other characters that they have not done yet. But so far, these are the 12, most recognizable characters from the games. I was a huge fan of Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. Ironically, we had a pizza place in town and then a Pizza Hut that had both of these that I probably spent so much money worth in quarters in, trying to go around and beat everybody, on that map. I just remember it so, vividly as a kid playing this game. And to this day, I love Street Fighter. So Street Fighter 2 was my go-to as a kid, in the arcades. And as everybody knows, the initial Street Fighter, which featured only Ryu and Ken as playable characters, and then it went on to 8, and then it went on to 12 playable characters in the Champion Edition, and then so on. But it was released in 1987, and Street Fighter 2 was actually credited for establishing many of the conventions of the one-on-one fighting game. And one of the things that is really cool about the whole Street Fighter franchise is the game's playable characters originate from different countries around the world, and each with a unique fighting style. And it was really cool, ranging from Ryu, who is the, like your kung fu type guy, and then you had Guile, the American hero, then you had E Honda, the sumo wrestler, you had the pro wrestler Zangief, and Balrog the boxer. You'll see all the variations of characters that they had, but just a cool game all around. And yeah, in celebration of the launch of Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, on all the systems that I mentioned, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Windows PC. Go out and check it out. Like I said, it highlights all the 12 classic titles from the Street Fighter franchise. Was really cool that Jada Toys Nano Metalfigs released a wave of the Capcom Street Fighter characters, and now we are going to check them out. And they are from not only the first but the second game as well, so that's why I had to mention that Street Fighter 2 is one of my favorite games, because it has all the 12 characters that eventually were available for play in Champion Edition. So let's turn the camera around now and check them out. But before I do that, I want to thank everybody who's subscribed lately, dropped any comments, left any kind of feedbacks, given me any likes. I really appreciate it, and if this is your first time viewing, make sure you do all that I just mentioned. And yeah, it's really much appreciated here on my channel. So let's check out the figures in the line now, guys. Okay, guys, so here are all 12 figures from the wave or the line or the series that you want to, whatever you want to call it, from Jada Toys Nano Metalfigs of the Street Fighter wave. And I love the card backs on here. You have Ryu, Chun-Li, and Ken there on the card back. And I keep all my Nano Metalfigs carded. As you can see, I have tons of them. I have the Disney, ones from WWE, DC there, Harry Potter. I even have a Guardians of the Galaxy set that I haven't done a review on that I will do soon. But I had to pick up these Street Fighter ones, being one of my favorite classic video games. And you don't get much merchandise, in stores, especially in toys, of the Capcom Street Fighter series. So just like the Rampage game, merchandise that we got recently. You don't get much of that in stores, so I had to pick that up. Well, I had to get these, and for only 97 cents a piece, you can't go wrong. We're going to check them out one by one, but one thing I did want to mention, if you cannot forget, there is an elephant in the room right now, and that elephant in the room is not, well, it's none other than the 94 Street Fighter VHS. Yes, they actually did a movie on this in 94. That's how popular it got. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia. And I'm going to tell you what. I watched this recently. I picked it up very cheap. I think it was like, 50 cents or something at an indoor flea market. You can see MCA Universal, but released in 1994. And I watched it recently, and man, has no recognition really of the game other than the characters used in it. And you can see there M. Bison, and you can see Jean-Claude Van Damme doesn't even play Ryu, he plays Guile. So they made Guile the main character of the story, which is kind of weird because Ryu, everybody knows, is the main character in the Street Fighter franchises when it comes to video games. So yeah, I had to I had to acknowledge the elephant in the room, and that was good old Jean-Claude Van Damme in the Street Fighter movie. There's Guile and M. Bison there on the front. Gotta love it. Oh, there's all your characters in the back. Vega, Zangief, Ryu, E. Honda. There they all are in the back, too. Adventure is the name of the game. And I gotta tell you, don't go out of your way to try to watch this and think it's gonna be a good movie, because, if you think it's going to be anything like the game, you might as well not even bother. But it's worth a watch for a laugh. And just, what the hell? It's so bad it's good. That's what I'd put this movie in. So there it is. And now we're going to check out the 12 figures that are in the line here for the Nano Metalfigs Street Fighter wave. Hopefully they do another wave of the Street Fighter figures, but not being a lot of characters left in the series to do. There are a lot of characters in the series that they could do still, but these are like the main characters, the main 12, as I said, that in Champion Edition were all playable. In the second 8 of the 12 were playable, and the first 2, you only had the first 2 here. And they are all labeled SF1 through SF12, so we don't have to go into that any farther. But I have them all in order here. The first, obviously, is Ryu. And yeah, I had a friend tell me that he didn't like the paint apps on them. Well, the paint apps on these definitely are not great by far. But nonetheless, if that's just sitting there, that's Ryu from the Street Fighter franchise. And that's why I like to keep them carded too. You can see they're SF1. And on the back, what I think is cool of these is it has the old school style collect them all checklist, which you don't see on a lot of stuff these days, but you got all your characters there: Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Guile, Blanca, Dhalsim, Zangief, E. Honda, Balrog, Sagat, Vega, and M. Bison. So, gotta love it. Sagat actually is the boss in the original game, the first Street Fighter. So, Sagat has a cool past when it comes to his character that I learned. And then next you have Ken. If you got Ryu, you have to have Ken. They learned under the same master, and they were the 2 playable characters in the original game. You could actually fight them one-on-one, and the winner would go on to complete the quest, whoever won, and then you couldn't fight again. And you had to insert the coins at like the exact same time. Got some orangish gloves there. You could see that, the facial details on the human characters for Nano Metalfigs is an ongoing issue, and these were one of the earlier releases, and you can see that the human faces are not easy for them to do. But I do like the shiny red karate gi that he's wearing here. So there's SF2 Ken. Next we have the female of the bunch, Chun-Li. The only female of the bunch. And she's got her classic garb on as well. I think they did a good job on her, actually. I like her outfit and everything. Of course, she's on the side there with Ryu and Ken. So the first three are going to be the main characters there that they put on the card. Of course, they're all the same. You know, your Nano Metalfigs Street Fighter logo up to the left. I don't think that I mentioned you got your Jada Toys 2017 down to the bottom, and also your Capcom with your StreetFighter.com logo there, MetalFigs.com logo, Jada Toys logo. Of course, your checklist. And on the front of the card, you have your 100% die-cast metal and Nano Metalfigs to the right with 3+. And they all have that metal-looking top there on the card. But there's Chun-Li. Next we have, it's not Jean-Claude Van Damme, but it is the guy that he played, and it's Guile. And Jean-Claude could have at least went all out and got that hair, don't you think? If he was going to be Guile, he could have at least had that blowout there. But he didn't. He was a decent choice for the character, but man, Mortal Kombat, a lot more faithful to the game. That movie was than Street Fighter by far. He's got his camo pants there. Pretty good job done on Guile here. Next we have my favorite character, one of my favorite characters, and that is none other than Blanka. And Blanka, I've seen some games that kind of rip him off before. Have characters that look just like him. If I'm not wrong, Streets of Rage, I think, has a character that looks like him. But Blanka used to be a human and then mutated into this green beast with orangish hair. And the hair goes out the back, too. That's pretty cool. He always has that long hair. He did that roll all the time in the game that was hard to stop. Very strong character. Very cool character. Blanka. And if you can't recognize that, I don't know what to tell you. Good look at Guile here. I don't think I got a good zoom on Guile here. I like Guile's, metallic painted tank top there. The abs and stuff really pop out. Make him look pretty damn tough. I always liked Guile as a kid because he was the American, hero guy on there. The G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter type character. Here's Dalsim. And Dalsim, however you want to pronounce it. He had that funny dance after he'd beat you, but he could extend his limbs beyond belief. He was a tough character to beat. And they did give him the paint on the face. These are very, very small and hard to get to come over camera, but not too bad. Having trouble getting a focus there now, but I like Dalsim. I used to like playing with him as a character too. And there's a little bit better shot on that paint. And those eyes too. Very iconic characters from Street Fighter. Then you have the pro wrestler, Zangief. And he was the hardest one to find out of all these characters. I could not find Zangief forever, and then I finally found one. And really haven't saw one since. But they got him very ripped out and huge and muscular. The likeness is kind of funny on this, kind of just 2 dots for the eyes. Definitely didn't go all out on those eyes. But nonetheless, you know that Zangief when you see him. And I was really happy to find him when I finally did, because I didn't think I was going to find him when I decided that I was going to complete this wave. Got that paint on his chest. Symbol. Then you have the sumo wrestler. I always called him Yokozuna because I was a wrestling fan, but he looks like Yokozuna. Although Yoko didn't come till after E Honda. But still, I thought they made Yokozuna. That was what it was. I always thought Yokozuna reminded me of E Honda. If they would have put some paint on his face, he'd had a character straight out of Mortal Kombat. Or not Mortal Kombat, excuse me, but Street Fighter. What am I thinking? But look at E Honda. I do think that's where they got the inspiration for him, but, I don't know. got the inspiration for Yokozuna, that is, don't get confused. But E Honda was a cool character to play with. He had that, they got him in that pose with the, can't remember exactly what the moves are called, but he'd go up and down with his hand like that real fast. Cool looking character. And I like the metallic blue they used for his undergarment there, whatever you want to call it. Then you have Balrog. And I heard a story on this one that Balrog was initially they were going to call him M. Bison because he is modeled after Mike Tyson, so he was going to be M. Bison. And Balrog was supposed to be a different character. I can't remember if it was supposed to be M. Bison that was Balrog or not. But anyway, Balrog got switched with M. Bison characters because they didn't want to pretty much get sued. Because, I mean, if you look at that, it looks like Mike Tyson. So he was like the boxer of the crew. Very cool. I like that metallic blue too, just like they had on E Honda. And going right along in order here, we have Sagat. And Sagat, like I said, was originally the final boss in the first Street Fighter. And they brought him back in Street Fighter 2, and then he was playable in Champion Edition. They used a lot of that blue on these characters now that I see. And trying to see. It says Tiger on his tights there. Sorry about that. I had to kind of pan away from the camera to see what that said. But I like the pose they have him in. Sagat, always a tough character too. Then we have SF11, and that's none other than Vega. The other computer-controlled character until Champion Edition that you were able to use him. Vega was sweet because he had that hockey goalie style mask on. And those, like, bladed hands. Badass. Well, bladed hand at least. I like the metallic purple and the red sash. Pretty sweet. Any wrestling fans, it reminds me of Sabu attire right there. The pants and the sash and the boots. Although Sabu didn't wear silver boots, but getting a lot of wrestling references in here. Sorry, I am a wrestling fan, so. I like the cage-like print there, too, on the bottom there. And on the bottom of the card, I never noticed that till now. Chain link, cage, fence. Yeah, it's in the background there, the card. So they got like a steel cage effect going on back there. Vega looks sweet. And then last but not least is the final boss from Street Fighter 2 on, and it's none other than M. Bison. And I always loved M. Bison. Even when you couldn't play, as M. Bison until Champion Edition, I still loved M. Bison. I just like the look of him, and he's probably one of my favorites of these characters too, him and Blanca. I like the E Honda too, so those are like my three favorites as far as designs and looks. But of course, I love all these characters. From Ryu to Guile, those are two cool looking ones too. Hell, I think they're all pretty cool looking. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you like this series or not? Would you like to see another wave? I definitely would. And yeah, in celebration of the release of Street Fighter's 30th anniversary collection on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Windows PC today, May 29th, 2018, that highlights all 12 classic titles from Street Fighter. I had to show off my 2017 Jada Toys Street Fighter Capcom Nano Metalfigs. And yeah, really digging this wave, guys. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button if this is your first time viewing. Drop a comment down below, give me a like if you like what you saw. And yeah, guys, till next time, I hope everybody liked it. And yeah, until next time, as always, guys, peace out.